Myself, M. Karthik Kumar Reddy, working as an assistant professor in Nalla Narasimha Reddy Education Society's group of institutions in the Department of Civil Engineering. In the Foundation Engineering subject, in Unit 1, I am going to explain about subsoil exploration. What is meant by subsoil exploration? The process of collecting soil data for the assessment of soil properties at a site through series of laboratory and field investigation is collectively called subsoil exploration. Here we are going to collect soil sample from the field and we are going to do the laboratory test to find the properties of the soil. This enables the engineers to draw soil profile indicating the sequence of soil strata and the properties of soil involved. After finding the soil properties, we are going to decide whether it is a strong soil or weak soil. Suppose if it is a strong soil, we are going for shallow foundation. If it is a weak soil, we are going for deep foundation. That is also called as pile foundation. What are the main objectives? To determine the nature of soil deposit. Whether it is a strong soil or weak soil. Depth and thickness of soil strata. Horizontal extent of soil deposit. Suppose if the soil is strong, we are going for shallow foundation. That is, width will be more compared to the depth. Depth of groundwater table and its fluctuations. Suppose if the soil is weak, we are going for deeper areas to increase the strength of the soil. That is also called as pile foundation. Engineering properties of the soil. That is permeability, compressibility and shear strength. In situ soil properties. In the site, whatever the soil properties are there. Correction of soil and rock sample. How many number of boreholes should be dig for small and large buildings? For small and less important buildings, 1 number at center. For large and important buildings, at least 5 numbers. 1 at center and 4 near the corners, covering an area of about 0.4 hectares. What are the different methods of soil exploration? In the exploration methods, we have direct methods, semi-direct and indirect methods. In the direct methods, test pits, trial pits and trenches. In the semi-direct, we have borings, that is agar boring, agar and shell boring, wash boring, percussion drilling, rotary drilling and core drilling. In the indirect methods, we have sounding or penetration test and geophysical methods. First of all, coming to test pits, these are suitable for small depths up to 3 meters. These are uneconomical at greater depth. Supports are required at greater depth, especially in case of weak strata. Why? Because weak soil cannot be able to bear the more load. That's why we are providing the supports. Problems with groundwater table and the same should be lowered. Groundwater table should be lowered. This is an open type exploration. As we are digging the soil, that is called as open type exploration. Soils are investigated in natural condition. Here we are not using any chemicals to dig the particular soil. That is particular pit. That's why it is called as natural condition. Soil samples are collected mainly for determining strength and engineering properties. Strength means bearing capacity of the soil. Engineering properties means mainly permeability, compressibility and shear strength. Boring. What is meant by boring? Disturbed samples are obtained by drilling a borehole into the soil strata up to a specified depth is known as boring. What are the different types of boring? Agar boring, agar and shell boring, wash boring, percussion drilling, rotary drilling, core drilling. Here in the agar boring, we are going to use 2 types of augers. Power driven augers are used up to 3 to 5 meters and hand operated augers are used greater than 5 meters. This is used in soils which can stay open without casing or drilling mud. Example in the case of clays and sills. These are suitable for highways, railways and airfields where depth of exploration is small. Here we are going to use 2 types of soil augers. Post hole auger for drilling and collecting soil sample at the top area. Helical auger. In this, advancement is made by drilling the auger by simultaneous rotating and pressing it into the soil. Whenever the auger gets filled with the soil, it is taken out and the soil sample is collected. Again, test is proceeded. Auger and shell boring. Casing is provided in case of weak strata. First the casing is driven and then the auger. Here in the auger and shell boring, we are going to provide casing first. Why? Because weak soil will be falling downwards. That's why we are providing casing and then the auger. Boring rig is used for power driving and hand rig for depth up to 25 meters. Soft rocks are broken using chisel bits. Chisel bits means which are strong and sharp at the bottom for digging the soil sample easily. Sand pumps are used in case of sandy soils. Coming to the disadvantage, whenever the casing is to be extended, the auger has to be withdrawn, which hinders the quick progress of the work. This is the typical setup of wash boring. Components of wash boring means pulley, tripod, rope, winch, water hose, swivel, settling tank, suction pipe, pump, sump, casing, hollow drill rod, water flow, chopping bit may be replaced by sampling spoon during sampling operations, that is during collection of soil sample. First of all, what is meant by wash boring? Wash boring used for advancing holes in the ground. Initially, the hole is advanced for shorter depth by using an auger. Then a casing pipe is pushed in and driven with a drop height. The driving may be with the aid of power. This is not suitable in case of boulders and rock. In this, suspension is collected in a settling tank. Soil particles are allowed to settle down and water is allowed to overflow into a sump, which is then recirculated. Here in this, disturbed sample is obtained, hence cannot be used for determining engineering properties, that is permeability and compressibility and shear strength cannot be determined. Chopping action due to water jet drilling and jetting action due to water jet. Whenever the soil sample is required, the chopping bit is to be replaced by a sampler, that is chopping bit is replaced. The change of the rate of progress and the change of color of washed water indicates changes in soil strata, means change of color indicates the changes in soil strata whenever we are digging the soil sample with the help of wash boring. In the percussion drilling, heavy chisel is alternately lifted and dropped. Here we can see in the figure of hand power percussion drilling, people are replacing heavy chisel and they are dropping. Water is supplied to the hole and the slurry is lifted by sand pumps at regular intervals. This is suitable for rocks and other hard strata, whereas wash boring cannot be used for hard strata. Coming to the disadvantages, this cannot be used in loose sand and is slow in plastic. The formation gets badly disturbed by impact, means as we are continuously disturbing the soil, it is disturbed by some impact. Coming to rotary drilling, rotation of a drill rod with a cutting bit. In the name itself, it is there, rotary drilling. Drilling fluid brings the cutting material up to the ground. This cannot be used in clay, sand and rocks. This can be used only in hard strata. This is not used in porous deposits as the consumption of drilling fluid would be high. Coming to core drilling, for drilling boreholes and for obtaining rock cores, diamond cutting edge is used. Shape of cutting edge is diamond. In the indirect methods, we have sounding or penetration test and geophysical methods. In the coming to the penetration test, standard penetration test as per IS code Indian standard 2131 1986. This is generally used for cohesionless soils to determine the relative density and angle of shearing resistance. In this, the borehole is made using drilling tools and a hammer weight of 65 kg falling from a height of 75 cm at a rate of 30 blows per minute. 65 kg hammer is falling from a height of 75 centimeters at a rate of 30 blows per minute. After reaching the specified depth, the drilling tool is replaced by a split spoon sampler to collect soil sample. First 150 mm penetration is taken as seating trough and the number of blows required for that penetration is discarded. SPT means the number of blows required for 30 cm penetration. Number of blows greater than 50 are taken as refusal and the test is discontinued. Here we are going to apply corrections to the observed N value. That is dilatancy correction and overburden correction. Of this, overburden correction is applied first and to that corrected value, and next dilatancy correction is going to be applied. Coming to dilatancy correction, this is suitable for fine sand and silts below water table wherever the negative pore water pressure develops, which increases the observed N value. Hence correction is applied. That is, whenever the SPT value N dash is greater than 15, we are going to use N dash is equal to N, that is SPT value N is equal to 15 plus 1 by 2 of N dash minus 15 is used for dilatancy correction. Coming to overburden correction, soils having the same relative density will show higher N value at greater depth due to presence of overburden. Cohesionless soils are greatly affected by confining pressure, hence N value is corrected. Whenever the sigma value is greater than 280 kilonewton per meter square. We are going to use n is equal to n dash into 350 by sigma plus 70. N means SPT value, n dash means latency correction, sigma dash means compressive strength. Here SPT correlations for cohesionless soils. These are the correlations which we get between this. For the condition from very loose to very dense, SPT n value and depth by ratio and the angle of internal friction. SPT correlations for clays. These are based upon the whatever the codebook we have designed. For from very soft to hard soils, SPT values and unconfined compressive strength QU. Coming to the cone penetration test. In the cone penetration test, we have static cone penetration test, that is Dutch cone test, and dynamic cone penetration test. Static cone penetration test. Cone is pushed into a soil at a steady state and the resistance offered by the soil is determined. This is called as cone resistance. It has arrangement to measure cone resistance at end bearing and side friction, useful for determining cohesionless soils. Dynamic load is applied by a 65 kg hammer falling through a height of 75 cm in dynamic cone test. The number of blows required for 30 cm penetration is taken as dynamic cone resistance, like SPT. Subsoil exploration, we are going to do one problem. The number of blows observed in a standard penetration test SPT for different penetration depths are given. Penetration of sampler and the number of blows. Here we are going to find out the observed n value by using latency correction and observed correction. We are going to get observed n value as 18 based upon using latency correction formula and overburden correction. Here we are going to discuss what are the differences between auger boring, wash boring, percussion drilling and rotary drilling. Auger boring means in this explorations are used for shallow foundations and highways, whereas wash boring is used below water table in all soil types except hard soils and rocks, whereas percussion drilling is used in large diameter boreholes over 150 mm in size. Rotary drilling is used for boulders and gravelly strata.